So from 10 to 3, we're going to have ongoing activities here at Ferry Farm, where George lived from about age 6 to late teens, and all kinds of activities. We've got games, we've got the stone throw, we've got cupcakes, we've got a George Washington reenactor, so you can ask him all kinds of questions. We've got crafts, activities, house tours. If you hadn't gotten a chance to take a look at Ferry Farm, this is your time to come in and see the house, and it's going to be all day long.
10 to 3, and if you haven't seen the house, this really is a good opportunity to kind of get a look at it, because there's nothing like it in this area.
Absolutely. The Washingtons actually had a fairly decent sized house for the 1730s. It's got 4 rooms on the main floor, and it's got 3 rooms on a second story. Pretty significant size back then. And how it was reconstructed was all based on archaeological work done on the site. So it's as if Washington could just pull up in his horse or carriage on the King's Highway and walk right back into his childhood home.
And it's on the foundation and everything. It really is worth seeing. And to do it on his birthday is kind of cool.
Absolutely. And we refurnished the house with objects based on our collection that were known to be used by the Washingtons, and then other period pieces. So we invite you to sit on the chairs in the hall room. We invite you to touch the bedding in the back hall room. And it really is almost like you could just walk into the Washingtons and celebrate George with them.
And what kind of a museum says we want you to touch things and sit down? You can do that here.
Yeah, we really tried to make this accessible for everybody. It allows you to become more one with history, and so you had that sense of, oh, I can actually touch this escritoire that's based on the one that Augustine Washington ran all of his businesses from. I can sit in a chair that, would have been like a chair that George Washington had sat in, and really get a sense of what it would have been like to be part of that Washington family.
An escritoire. There's a word we don't normally say.
Not at all. It's a French word, and yet the furniture itself, the piece of furniture that it refers to, is actually a Scottish design. So how's that for globalization of furniture in the 1730s?
The other thing is, supposedly George Washington threw a coin across the river. You can take a shot. You don't get to throw a coin, but you can try to throw a rock.
As all young children must do when they're outside and there's stones and water. The legend goes that George liked to throw stones across wide places with water, and he supposedly threw a silver dollar across and landed on the other side. And for anybody who has seen the Rappahannock today, the river was actually wider in George's day, and so we do invite people to come down and try their hand at throwing a stone across to see if they can make it to the other side. And that's actually happening 4 times throughout the birthday festivities, so you'll have a lot of chances to try.
10:30 to 2:30 roughly,
give or take. Yes.
So you can get tickets, kenmore.org, or just show up on Monday?
Absolutely. We will not turn anybody away. It just helps us with a bit more of planning logistics if you purchase your tickets online. It's actually a really great steal of a deal. It's $5 for adults 18 and over, and youth 17 and under are free.
Boy, and for President's Day, really you can be any age and get a lot out of this.
Absolutely. We invite anybody who has a love of history or a love for George Washington to come out and experience all of the activities and crafts that we have going on throughout that day.
If you haven't been to Ferry Farm lately, you really it continues to change, and just do it.
Exactly.